first graders. All right. So our question this week is, how do things get built? Okay, how do things get built? So we see different tools, power tools, hand tools, those kind of things to use. So we're going to watch a short video on that. All right, so here we go.
Build it. How do things get built? Have you ever built things with blocks? Bridges, skyscrapers, homes, all kinds of structures are built in much the same way, one step at a time. Different building materials may be used. For example, these bricks are placed neatly in rows and held together with cement. Construction takes many steps. Builders work together and carefully follow the plans so they don't make mistakes. First, the frame goes up. The rest of the materials are put into place one step at a time until the house is finally finished.
So in the video, who did you see? How do things get built? Did you see construction workers building the house, right? And they said it takes many different steps. So there's lots of different people who have to come in and help build it, right? Electricians, plumbers, there's many different steps. All right, project. I want you to say project. So a project is something that you work on, right? So think about a project that you do at school. Right here is a picture, right? So you might draw a picture, or you might write something, and that is a project. We've done several projects this year. Can you think of some projects that we've done in class? Right, any of our art projects, right? All right, structure. Structure, I want you to say that word. A structure is something that has to be built, right? So think about, what kind of structure are you in right now? Are you at school? Are you at home? So you might be at a school, you might be at a home, but that is the structure you're in. So what kind of structures are in your town? Think about the bank, or if you live in Wichita, you have tall skyscraper buildings in downtown. In Halstead, you have the bank and the library. If you're in the country, what kind of structures do you see? You might see barns, right? Those things have to be built. Contented. When you are contented, you are happy or pleased. So you're content. You're content is another word for that, content. So if you're content, you're happy. So they're playing, so they're content. All right, indeed. Indeed. You plan on doing it, right? Intend, right? If you intend on doing something, you plan on doing it. So, think about this playground. What is something you intend to do after school? Some of you might go play outside. What's something else you guys might intend to do? Read a book? Or eat a snack? You intend to do those things, so you plan on doing it, right? All right. Marvelous. If something is marvelous, it's wonderful. So think about these fruits. These fruits are marvelous. Why are they marvelous? Right, because they're good for you, right? So they're marvelous. They're wonderful for you. Can you think of some other foods that are marvelous? All right, we're going to read a story now called The Sheep and the Pig Who Set Up a House. Okay, so if you built a house, if you got to be an engineer and you got to create a house, what would your house be like? I know in my house I don't have a basement. What would your house be like? All right, we're going to read the story. All right, here we go. Remember, the title was called The Sheep, the Pig, and the Goose Who Set Up House.
The Sheep, the Pig, and the Goose Who Set Up House. A tale from Norway.
Why might a sheep and a pig build a home? Who might build a home with them? What kind of home might they build together? Long ago, a sheep lived on a farm. He was always given plenty to eat, so he was quite contented with his life. Then one morning, everything changed. On that morning, the farmer's wife brought his food as usual. She set it down in front of him and said, "Enjoy this good food while you can, dear sheep, because you won't be around much longer." She cackled to herself and added, "The next time we meet, you will be on our dinner table." The sheep was shocked by what the farmer's wife said, but since he was quite clever, he came up with a plan. First, he ate all the food the farmer's wife had brought. Then he butted down the door to his pen and ran away as fast as he could. The sheep ran to the neighboring farm where his friend, the pig, lived. "Good morning, dear friend," said the sheep. "Good morning to you," replied the pig, who was building a larger pen for himself. "But tell me, dear friend, why do you look so disturbed?" The sheep whispered in the pig's ear, "I have just been informed that the farmers are fattening us up because they intend to eat us for dinner. The farmer's wife told this to me." "Oh my!" cried the pig. "What shall we do?" "We will go off and live on our own," said the sheep. "We will build a house for ourselves." "Yes," exclaimed the pig, "it will be our project. I will use my hammer. We will build a fine home together." Then the pig and the sheep ran off. Soon the pair met a goose that lived on another nearby farm. "Hello," said the goose. "Where are you both off to?" "Hello," said the sheep. "We are running away because we learned that the farmers are planning to eat us for dinner. So we are off to build ourselves a house and live independently." "Oh my goodness!" cried the goose. "What if my farmer is planning to eat me?" "Let me go with you," he begged them. "I am a fine carpenter, and I can make beautiful furniture. After all, every house needs furniture." "That is very true," replied the sheep and pig. "You are welcome to join us." So the sheep, the pig, and the goose went off and found a good location for their home. Using timber from the forest, the sheep and pig built a fine structure that was big enough for three, and the goose made lovely furniture for their home. Before too long, the happy trio moved into their brand new home. They were unaware, however, that a wolf lived in the woods nearby and had been watching them. You can be sure that this wolf was up to no good. He wanted nothing more than to get into their home and eat them all for dinner. So the wolf planned a trick to get in. He knocked on the door of their house and said, "I'm just in the middle of baking and have run out of flour. Could you spare a cup?" But the three friends knew all about the tricks of wolves. After the trouble they went through to build it, they were not about to be eaten in their own home. As soon as the wolf came inside the house, the sheep gave him such a butt that he almost went through the ceiling. Then the pig began to bite his legs, and the goose pecked him on the back with her strong beak. The wolf ran out of the house and into the woods and was never seen or heard from again. And the three friends lived happily ever after in their marvelous home.
All right, I want to think about. I'm going to ask you a couple questions. I want to know, at the beginning of the story, what changed on the farm? What did the farmer's wife say? What did she say? She said that you won't be around much longer, right? So, the sheep wouldn't be around much longer. Now, how did he feel? How did he feel? He knew that he was clever, right? He knew that he was clever and that he came up with a plan. What did the pig do? What did the pig do? the pig said that he knew how to build a what? He knew how to build a house. So they ran together, right? Didn't they? He ran with the sheep. Where did they run to? They ran to the forest, right? So I want to know, who did they meet? Who did they meet next in this page? Who did they meet next? Right, they met the goose. And the goose was what? What did he call himself? He used a fancy word. He called himself a carpenter, didn't he? What's a carpenter? He was building furniture, wasn't he? He was building furniture. Did you guys notice the wolf in the background? Did you guys see him in the trees? He was hiding. Alright, so who lived in the woods? Kind of gave you a hint already. Who lives in the woods? The wolf does, doesn't he? And what was the wolf trying to do? He was trying to eat them, wasn't he? So what was his plan to do that? He asked them, he told them that he ran out of flour, right? So he was trying to get flour from them. Did that plan work? No, the animals didn't believe him, did they? All right, when we're reading, remember, good readers ask themselves questions. So did I ask you questions to help you understand the story? I did, right? And did we use the pictures and the words? We did. All right, so this week, I'm going to say 3 sounds. I want you to put them together. Ready? B, oy, o. What's the word? Boil. Good job. Okay, this time I'm going to say them. You're going to put them together. Ready? J, oy. Joy. Good job. Voice. Voice. Good job. Oil. What's the word? Oil. Alright, so this week we're going to talk about diphthongs O-I and O-Y, and they make the oi sound. Okay, so like in ka-oin, an oyster. Do you see how my mouth is making that oi sound? Alright, so let's try a couple words. Ready? O, soil. Join. Join. Oi. Joy. Oi. Toy. Do joy and toy rhyme? They do. They have the oi sound at the end, don't they? Oi. Boy. Alright, let's practice our sight words. This word is above. Above. This one is kind of just a high frequency word that you kind of have to learn, so it's called above. How does rain fall from above the sky? Alright, you say it. Above. This word is build. He knew how to build a town out of blocks. Build. So the U and the I is together, isn't it? Build. You practice this word. Build. Alright, this one. Knew. This K is silent at the beginning. So, ooh. So he knew how to build a town out of blocks. Knew. Then we have money. E. The EY says E. So how much money does it cost? Money. Oh, look, we have a glued sound, A-L-L, don't we? So all. Fall. How does rain fall from above the sky? Toward. The dog ran toward the yard. Toward. All right. Don't forget to make sure you do everything on your screen.